Good morning, good morning, everybody. We are back. The show is called TBR SSF Show, which simply means TBR Solution Sports Forum. It is myself, the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe. I'm joined by Pete, a Man City man.
Morning, everybody.
How are you, Pete?
Yeah, good, man. Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Bit disappointed for Man City's last result against Nottingham Forest, but it is what it is.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And I must say, I'm happy. The Man City leadership, they are not taking any action against Guardiola. If you are a very fair and honest person, Pep has gone through a lot. You know, the divorce has
Sure.
just happened, and now,
Sure.
and then you need to take that into consideration and say, hey, what do we do? You can't
Yeah,
you can't kick a man when he's down, when he's really, really down,
sure.
and then you kick him. So for me,
Plus, yeah, a lot of players are end of era as well, so there's big changes coming through.
yeah, ne?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Kevin De Bruyne,
mhm,
he's coming to the end of his tenure there, I think, and
mm,
people like who's the right back there? Just
mm,
left the club now.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
so lots of changes, lots of changes.
There's a lot of changes.
Walker, that's the guy I'm thinking of.
No, Oka hasn't left. He has left already.
He's left already, yeah. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
yes.
it's all part of the seasonal and, how can I say, like a renewal, if you like,
Mm,
of the
mm,
team.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
everything coming together
mm, mm,
has culminated in basically the results that you've seen over the last, what,
mm,
5 months or
mm,
so.
mm. Yeah, there's quite a lot. The Champions League. I'm telling you, what's name is doing exceptionally well. Um, um, uh, uh,
PSG.
Barcelona, PSG.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Real Madrid, that is their tournament.
yeah,
And
sure.
I've seen something which is very interesting. Maybe I'll share it one day to say Messi has always been competitive with Perez, not necessarily Real Madrid or Ronaldo. Because if you take the era of Barcelona without Messi, they were just mediocre compared to Real Madrid.
Sure.
Then when Messi came in, he made Real Madrid look mediocre, and then he has taken about 10 league, La Liga, and then so they were saying, remember there is also a rumor that Perez had been influencing some of Ballon d'Ors for Ronaldo to win and so on. So it was Messi versus Perez, not necessarily Ronaldo, not necessarily Real Madrid. But the big news that I want us to discuss, Orlando Pirates, they are playing Mamelodi Sundowns tomorrow.
Big game.
I don't know whether this will be the beginning of the end in terms of the title race. And then at the end
Well,
of,
it's a must win for Pirates, I'd say. It's
pardon?
a must win for Pirates. It's a must win for
For
Pirates
Pirates, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
at the moment now they're second place on 40 points, so they're 18 points behind with 4 games in hand.
Mm,
So
mm,
if
mm.
they win that one, I think I still give them a bit of a chance. But if they go
Now,
down,
mhm, yeah, if they go down,
that's a
yeah,
different
well,
story.
it's amen. It's
Yeah.
amen. It's amen.
I think it's good night, God bless. Yeah,
In fact, this is like a cup final for the Champions League. This is
I'd say so.
the cup final. So it's a real cup final. But you know what?
Big game.
I must also commend Orlando Pirates because look, there is this issue of Salem. Normally,
Mm,
when there is that kind of a thing at the club, it affects the morale
yeah, sure.
in the team. But we haven't seen that at Pirates. They still play well. And the reason why they lose, to be honest, I think they lose because of fatigue, general fatigue, uh, and, uh, and the general question that the squad is thin. All right. So maybe as a lesson to Orlando Pirates, they need to beef up their squad. They need to make sure that they add more players because my observation come January. both Chiefs and Pirates never beef up their squad. It was Sundowns that has beef up their squad. And then Sundowns looks like they have all the machinery. You know, the inclusion of Jaden has proved to be lethal. And then Themba Zwane was somehow sidelined due to injury and so on. But the young man, you know, made it the point that the issue of Themba Zwane, it's invisible. We don't talk about it. In fact, it's going to be very difficult for Themba Zwane to regain the spot in that squad. But Mshishi,
But that's a manager's dream, though, eh?
yeah,
That's a manager's dream.
yeah. So, and that's it. For me, when you look at that, Sundowns are in a better position. But you know what? If you ask me right from the beginning of the year, I wanted Orlando Pirates to win the league. The reason very simple. We need to break that monotony. We can't have Sundowns because they are going for the 8th in a row. And once they get 8 in a row, they are going to target 10.
No,
They're going to target 10, you know? And
But I was reading, Saubrey, that ex-Chiefs player Junior Khanye predicts a 3-0 win. Yeah, he predicts a 3-0 win for Sundowns.
For Sundowns, yeah. Well, yeah, Junior Khanye, and then the Chief fans, they don't like him. But you know what I like about Junior? He speaks his mind. He speaks the way it is. And then I saw him saying they don't allow him at Chiefs to come. And when they have the masters, the old players, he's not even featured. And this thing, Pete, let's talk about it a little bit. Why are our soccer bosses, they want everybody to sing them praises? Because if you sing them praises, they will never find themselves in a position where they reflect and they look at themselves to say, do that introspection, especially Chiefs and Pirates. But I'm sure all the teams, I'm sure even Sundowns, they do the same. But I haven't seen that at Sundowns. Once you start criticizing them, they take it personal instead of taking it like it's a game. All right? And people need to have an opinion. And once you have people with critical opinion, it helps because they make you see something that you don't see. Because if you are all seeing the praises, you'll never see where you went wrong. Another person who's very, very good at that is Dr. Kumalo. Dr. Kumalo is like a son at Kaiser Chiefs, but the dog speaks his mind. Dog doesn't hold any punches. He said the way he sees it, to say this is what is happening and so on. That is why Dog at some point he said, "I'm not a popular person at Kaiser Chiefs, but he's a son of Kaiser Chiefs. The fans like him, you know. But you know what? We need to speak on. I don't know what's your take about that.
Well, I think Dr. Marlowe comes from a position of authority as opposed to Junior.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a big difference there. So, yeah. I think you can be critical from the outside looking in. I mean, all ex-soccer players. I mean, if you look at Gary Neville, by example, he has a lot to say about Man United, and I think he's pretty good at what he actually says. So, yeah, it's good to receive constructive criticism. Is always a good thing. Because whether you take it on board, you must take it on board if it's constructive. I think the difficulty comes is your own self-ego, you know, and sometimes you don't allow that critique to come in because you think, this guy, you know, he doesn't know what he's talking about or whatever the case may be. But I think if you sit there and you analyze what is said, and, you know, if at the end of the analysis you come back and you say, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, maybe I should look at this, and it can be also this is, now the guy's got, you know, bad vibes from the old team, etc., whatever the case may be. But it's difficult to take on board self-criticism or criticism from others. You know, it's not easy. We all don't like it, but sometimes we need it.
No, we don't like it.
Sometimes we need it.
We don't like it. My boys always tell me, but when we criticize, you take it very bad. Well, it's life. It's a natural reaction. When
Sure, of course
person
it is.
your body goes, or your mind, yourself, the
Yeah,
self being goes to defensive mode, goes to the
absolutely.
defensive mode. But sometimes
I
it's
think you've got to
because
be. I think you've got to be. I think you've got to be aware of that. You know,
mm,
when the critique comes,
mm, mm,
and analyze it for what it is. If you at the end of the, like I say, at the end of the analysis, self-analysis, um, you think it's actually maybe something you need to work on, then do it. If you think it's not valid, then that's also an option.
I know Saddam doesn't like Junior Khanye. Chiefs people, they don't like Junior
You
Khanye.
see,
But let me tell you something. Sometimes Junior, when he predicts, is correct. Spot on. In most cases, when he predicts,
well,
and
if you
then
look at the last, if you look at the last game as well, you know, Sundowns won 4-1.
mm, 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 mm,
So yeah, it, Junior says if Pirates play an open football game, then he says they'll get beat. He says, in other words, what he's suggesting is they have to come with a different tactic than what they might approach other games. It's always an interesting one. That do you sort of like, you know, do you defend against a club and let them come to you and then, you know, play from a position of break, or do you actually play your normal game? Or what are the tactics involved? I mean, the tactics in a big game like this, or what makes the coach a good coach from a mediocre coach, in my opinion. You look at these big tacticians. You know, I mean, we all know them. They read the game based on the opponents that they're playing, so they won't necessarily play a 4-3-4, 4-3-2 setup. They'll change their lineup for the team that they're playing, for example. It's going to be an interesting game. But yeah, I agree. This is if Pirates want to challenge for that title, they've got to at least get a draw out of this, I would suggest.
Now, the other thing is this, Pete. Why are we fighting the people who are giving their opinion? Just like Jamie Carragher. You know, Jamie Carragher tells the way it is. He doesn't hold
He
any
does.
punches. He just
He
goes.
does.
He
Yeah.
just go. Whether you like it or
Sure.
not, you just go and say,
Sure.
hey, this. The last controversy caused was to say AFCON is a mediocre tournament. You know, it's not at a level of Euro and all that. Well, he has his own opinion, okay? But I
Yeah.
think
Sure.
people twisted it. They make it a race issue. I don't know. To me, he doesn't look like somebody who's more racist. To me,
I
when
don't think so.
when I
I
see,
think he's just. I think he's just voicing an opinion.
yeah, he's just
Yeah. Look.
he's just
Yeah.
forward. That's how I see it. He just
Mm,
put it the way it is, and then
sure.
whether you like him or not, that's how he is. It's just like Gary Neville, doesn't hold any
Mm,
punches. He says it and says
yeah.
this. Do you understand? So some people, when it comes
Sure.
like that, it becomes too much. No, Jamie Carragher
What did
doesn't.
they say?
Pardon?
They say if my opinion is offensive to you, that's not my problem. It's yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not an attack on you personally, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
You know, I
sometimes.
mean, he's given an opinion about the game. He's not picking on somebody individually. So
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, I think we're too sensitive sometimes. These
yeah,
days.
no, you don't have to. You don't have to be too
Yeah.
sensitive. Well, when it comes to Sundowns, and then big up to Mamelodi Sundowns, they're doing well. To be honest, I never trusted this coach, but I can see he's doing exceptionally well. This guy has done 100%. He hasn't lost a game.
58 points now.
Yeah,
58 points in the league.
yeah.
With
Remember,
what?
he just came in the
8
middle.
games to play. Yeah.
Yeah, he just came in the middle. So, but he hasn't lost any game. That's the most important thing. When he started, we were worried about the game he was playing, and they have so many ammunition. This Miami boy, he was playing with Bafana Chad. He is a gem. And then you have so many players there at Mamelodi Sundowns. Themba Zwane is coming. We are told that he's already training. You know, if you ask me today, at the beginning of the year, I was saying I want Pirates to win the league. If you ask me today, I want Sundowns to win. I'll tell you why I want Sundowns to win the league. Even to win tomorrow. Okay, Pirates, I've got a friend of mine, Brajiga, the man who brought me up in Tembisa there. He is going to kill me for this. The reason why I want Sundowns to win is very simple. I want them to win so that they forget about the league and then they start now preparing for AFCON and the World Club, a Club World Cup. Club World Cup for me is very important. It's not for Sundowns. It's very important. It's for the country. If Sundowns can go far with the Club World Cup, everybody will start knowing that, oh, there is a country called South Africa. I don't know whether here Donald Trump does not know we have a Lesotho. Do you understand?
Yeah, sure.
And things like soccer, Olympics, they market the country for the country to be known. And then, you know, I was watching Inter Miami and the team from Jamaica. And then their biggest stadium, the national stadium, is 35,000. Now, it makes us understand all along, some of us, we thought that Jamaica is even better than us as South Africa. I think we are better than them. I mean, 35,000. So that's football. That's football has made us to know Jamaica. You know, so if Mamelodi Sundowns play well in that tournament, people will start knowing, oh, there's a country called South Africa. Well, South Africa is known due to Madiba, all right? And then maybe the addition of this element of BRICS has made South Africa to be known now. But the fact that if now, because I remember some of the singers from America, when they would come here, they would say, hey, we thought here is a jungle, we'll meet a lion and elephant. And so on. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now, now they start knowing, oh, there's football, there's Mamelodi Sundown. Do you understand? So that's very important. And big up to Amapoko. They win the World Cup. You know, we are known because of that. So that's it for me. That's it. I'm not a Sundowns fan, I'm a Cosmos fan. So I will keep on repeating that one. Pete?
You know what though you were saying? You were saying that basically you want Sundowns to win and this would be their 8th title in a row. We have to try and break that, but in order to break that, you know, to make the leagues more competitive, I mean, it used to be the same in the Premier League now, but if you look at it recently now, you can pick basically your winner from, say, 4 teams, basically, at least, and we need to get something, some parity like that here in the PSL as well. And the only way that that's going to happen is for the teams that are challenging the Pirates and the Chiefs. And who's the one that's coming up recently now? Is it Gallant? No, it's not Gallant.
TS Galaxy.
Who's in 3rd spot now?
Pardon?
Yeah.
TS Galaxy.
Who's in 3rd? Yeah. They're coming through, eh?
They're doing exceptionally well. And look, the good story about TS Galaxy, the owner of the team is also a club manager. This team was started not long. You know, there was this NetBank squad versus the champion of, I think, NetBank. And then that's how he formed that team. And he's a club manager for the players. Team Sugas. I like the guy. He's a lawyer by profession. He speaks his mind. He's not afraid. You know, we like people like that. And then Team Sugazi, he has put a very good team. And then he sells so many players. Every year, after the end of the season, they take many players from him. And guess what? He is right there now, number 4, number 5. You know, he's there. He's there, which is very, very good for Team Sugazi.
Sure. Maybe something to watch watch them over the next couple of games there, see how, and what are they doing differently? I think that's for me. They always say if you want the same result, just keep doing what you do now. And maybe if you look at, the teams that are getting it right there, and you compare it to what are we doing over the last couple of seasons there. We always talk about self-reflection. And I think that's something that's really important, to say, right, okay, so now we're going to take the league this year. What is it that Sundowns are doing? And I think you mentioned it a little bit earlier. They refresh their team in January. They have a bigger squad. They have, and like you say, the Pirates of this world are probably getting a little bit fatigued now. And it happens. It happens mentally, physically, both ways it works. Yeah. So interesting. Let's see. Let's keep an eye on the Galaxy.
And to
Let's
be
see where they go.
honest, with you, I'm not going to say allow those Pirates fans and Chief fans to say no, you can't compete Mamelodi Sundowns. We know that Mamelodi Sundowns, they have not yet confirmed what we suspect, that they are running this team with an NGO or NPO so that they capitalize on tax. But nothing stopped Ivan Koza and Dr. Mdaun to do the same. Nothing stopped them.
Sure.
When you're a businessman, you always have your accountant to tell you how can you avoid tax. Because avoiding tax is allowed as long as you stick to the tax laws. Okay? So that's one part of the argument. And Chiefs and Pirates have no argument because these are the two teams that are well sponsored. Now they've just been joined by Sundowns. They're well sponsored. Team Sugars at some point said Chiefs and Pirates, out of technical sponsor, they make 100 million easily. No one contested that. No one from Chiefs or Pirates said, no, team is lying. All right? And how many sponsors do Chiefs have? How many sponsors do Pirates have? Do you understand? So they are to blame if they run to buy. Motsepe goes out there and buy a player for 40 million. Yes, I hear the argument to say, hey, why do you buy a player for 40 million when the league is 20 million or 25 million? Do you understand what I'm saying? Is that good for business? I don't know. What about your supporters? Who supports you? That's my argument.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel for the supporters, they want the teams to do well,
They want the teams to do well. So there's no way they want their team to not to perform well just because we want to save some little bit bucks there and there. Okay. So they are to blame. Pete, let me move on quickly and say before we go there, let me just share the news that we are a financial company. If you want to buy books from us, one of them is this one. It's called How I Turned 500 Rand into a Million Rand Business. Somebody heard me on radio, spoke about it. Then he called me and said, hey, Mr. Chan, I've got 500 Rand in my pocket. How do I turn it into a million rand? I said, no, it doesn't happen that way. It's not as easy as that. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's a long journey. A lot of things happen. And then, just read the book. It will show you how did I do it, okay? I'm sure if I can do it, anyone can do it. And then there's also this one by a very good friend of mine, Nom Samas Bugo. It's called Entrepreneur Awakening. How she started. As I said, she's in the hospitality business. She's doing extremely well, which is very, very exciting. And then there's also this one, also by a very good friend of mine, Dr. Darlene Small. Dr. Darlene Small is an economist, having worked for Reserve Bank for 33 years as an advisor to governors of the Reserve Bank. There's backlash around the issue of tax. We'll watch the space. Here's another book that's very, very important, especially these days, how to get out of bad debts, use other people's money and resources to get rich. People say, I don't want debt. If you don't want debt, you'll never make money. The rich are...
I've got a title of your next book, Saubrey. How not to get into debt.
Oh, no? What is the title?
How not to get into debt.
How to know to get into debt.
How not to get into debt.
Yes.
That may be the title.
That's a nice one. The rich are always in debt. Because this is how you make money. You make money by going into debt. So it's a question of knowing which one is which. You use the good debt in order to... Pete, let's move on quickly because I can see now it's starting to tell me that, hey, time is against you. Now, Karaboe, it's coming.
Cup final.
Yeah, cup final. What's happening? Who's playing and then what's happening?
It's happening tomorrow. I think it's about 6:30. It's Liverpool versus Newcastle United. Liverpool's are firm favourites to win. If you look at the team news there, Trent Alexander-Arnold's not playing. He's not available. And Anthony Gordon and Lewis Hall is not available for Newcastle. That's a big hit there from Anthony Gordon perspective. He's really playing quite nicely. But he received a red card, I think, in the previous game, which made him not eligible now for this cup final. Again, it's that self-discipline again, that we keep talking about. Yes, Liverpool firm favourites, but they come back now off, just going out of the Champions League now. How will that affect them? Or will they move on and get on with it now, and see what's happened there? What's your prediction there?
It looks like
if you look at form, it's Liverpool all the way. Yeah, but it doesn't work like that in a cup final.
Liverpool have run away with the league, 15 points difference.
Oh yes, yeah. No,
they've run away with the league. I don't see any team catching up with them. Man City, the one who could have catch up with them, they're on and off. Tomorrow they're like this. Tomorrow, Arsenal can also, Arsenal. I still say it will take years for them to get Arsenal off Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger, you knew that it's either I don't win the league, but I'm going to be number 4 and I'm going to make money for you guys. You see, it was quite clear. Yeah, it was quite clear. But now, these Arsenal, I don't think Arteta is at, and they've given him enough chance. They've tried many. Uneri came in. They've tried many coaches, just like Man United. But we'll see. Let's go to Man City before we go. Man City, what's happening?
Well, we lost that last game. It's a whole renewal that we were talking about and Pep's problems and things like that. Not to put too much of a spin on that, but we're playing Brighton and Hove Albion this weekend at home. I think we might just edge them out there 2-1. We need to win. I'm looking for Arsenal to do us a favour to beat Chelsea because Chelsea have moved up into 4th spot now. I think they're 2 points clear of us, and Nottingham Forest being 3 points ahead of us in 3rd spot. They're playing Ipswich away. For me, I think Nottingham Forest will beat Ipswich. I think the pick of the game, basically, if you take my team out of the mix there for today, will be Bournemouth versus Brentford. It doesn't sound like a high-class game, but Bournemouth have been playing some really good football recently, and Brentford are no slouches either. And then if you look at the fixtures tomorrow, we've got the Arsenal-Chelsea game as the first lead up there, and we got another London derby there with Fulham versus Tottenham Hotspur. Again, Tottenham Hotspur, one of those teams, plays very similar to Chiefs. Got the capability to play some good football, but towards the end of the season, they just seem to fade away. And then, of course, it's our rivals, Leicester versus Man United. So I think I've got United to win that one at Leicester. There, I think Leicester are going to be one of those relegation teams that are going to go down this season. Your
take on Arsenal and Chelsea. Moreover, Arsenal can do a favor, but not only Arsenal, even Chelsea is hot and cold. What's your take? Who do you think will win?
I've got Arsenal to win that one. Again, it's a London derby, and it's like Man United play Man City or Chiefs play Pirates. Form doesn't always play in those sort of games. But Arsenal, I think, have got a little bit more than Chelsea, and they are at home in this particular game. So I think I've got it marked for 2-1. So we'll look with interest.
Before I close, Pete, I'm gonna look at the Messi special. They won yesterday. They are going to the quarterfinals. This man, you know what? Sometimes I ask myself, I see Messi as I saw Mandela. Everybody, they were playing Jamaica, but all Jamaican fans were supporting Messi. They didn't care about their team. And when he was introduced, the stadium was going wild. Everybody was going wild. The players, the coaching staff, the referee. I said, this man, wow. You know what is good about it? This man has won this through hard work, through his talent. It's not about anything. No media has built him. You know, he has done well. Look, he has played just for Inter Miami. So now to tell you the story between him and Ronaldo, he has played 42 games and 37 goals and 20 assists. And then he's got the League Cup. I hope you see this, Pete. I don't see it on
It's
my
a little
side.
bit, it's a little bit small, but we can make it happen.
I'm struggling here on my side. I hope the viewers will be able to see that. He has won the League Cup. He has been the top goal scorer of the league, the best player of the league, MLS Supporters Shield. Those are the title he won, and then the MVP awards, and then Inter Miami all-time top goal scorer, Inter Miami all-time top assist. And look, Messi has played for Barcelona, PSG, Inter Miami, all right, and Argentina.
Sure.
He's an all-time goal scorer for three teams, except only PSG. Now this man is a genius. And Ronaldo is not even what do you call, when it comes to the league at La Liga. Messi has done more league than in 10 league titles. And I think Ronaldo has won about two, if not three. Okay?
Sure.
So, you know, the comparison is not there. They are correct. They say if you compare, Messi was competing, what's his name? Pires more than Ronaldo. So it's a mismatch. Pete, thank you very much. From here, I'll be rushing to a funeral. My neighbor, my next door neighbor here, has
Sorry.
passed on. So I'm going there. May her soul rest in peace. And then the boys, they are looking up to me. I'm like their father figure. So I must just be there.
Got a good job there.
Yeah, no, they do happen, those things. I saw them yesterday,
Sure.
and then I was saying to the young man, how old are you? He said he's 31. I said, Bafanas, hold it there. When I lost my mom, I was 17, but I was very
Sure.
strong already, you know, and because life, we know this will happen. This day is coming.
Sure.
They will come and go. It's up to you. What do you do next? Pete, thank you very much. Just bid the viewers farewell.
Cheers, Saubrey. Cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Come and view us next time.
Much appreciated. Thank you. Bye bye. Hi, everyone. I'm sure you are already in the year 2025, and then you are asking yourself, what are you going to do? Some of you have been working for many years, and then now you are contemplating of either resigning or going on retirement. And it looks scary. You're not sure what are you going to do, how are you going to survive, you're worried about your pension, and so on and so on. Especially if you're a GPF member at the age of 55 and above, and you are in those situations. You are thinking, what's going to happen? Remember, the most important thing, you need to think about how can you save the little that you have, in terms of how do you avoid penalties, because when you retire earlier than 60, you'll be penalized. How can you avoid that? Not to be penalized, not even a cent. You also want to make sure that you maximize in terms of the taxation. But get me right, tax applies to everyone. But you want to make sure that you are taxed as little as you can. And you want to do all those things. You need somebody who's skilled, somebody who's trained to deal with finance, because tax avoidance is allowed. Because when you avoid tax, you use the tax law. Now, if you want to do that, to make sure that you save as much as you can, don't hesitate. Contact us, TBR Solution, or the BigR Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. And then just say, please, I want you to assist me. I want to go out. So come and share knowledge with me. Now, no obligation. You don't have to make any obligation. Just listen to the facts. After listening to the facts, make a decision. Can listen to us, can listen to others, then so that you're exposed to various information, so that when you make a decision, it's an informed decision. Now, my name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR Solution. Here I'm representing the bigger financial services and authorized financial service provider. If you want to know how to get hold of us, just look at the WhatsApp number, drop us your contact via WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.